Good morning, London. We are back. We are back on the 14th of January already. Oh my God, we're already halfway in the month. Crazy how fast time is going. Um, hey Bowser, how are you doing? How's it going, my friend? Let's have a look, guys. It's already 2 o'clock almost. So I'm almost figured out what the freezing is causing. It's from the YouTube side. So I need to maybe change the latency. So I need to, if the moment I start freezing, I think it only happens in New York for some reason. But if it happens here, I need to change the latency. So I haven't done it yet just to make sure. So keep me posted, guys. If the moment I start freezing, but I need to test it to make sure that when it happens and to see why. So bear with me. Crazy volatility. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's not really smooth right now. It doesn't really. You really have to be very well prepared, right, for that move, and then already know your move so much in advance to be able to catch it and not be taken out by swings to the other side. So let's get into it. Talk too much. I'm a little bit just. There's a lot going on with my phone calls and stuff like that, so that's why I couldn't prepare. Okay, 150. Where's my macro? I want to see what happens. I'm on the 1 minute. Ooh. Did you trade already, Bose? Or did you put on a trade, or are you just watching for now? 150 to 210. Here we go. Okay. Okay, let's have a look, guys. I find it fascinating. This large end dog that I keep referring to this box. On the daily, there is no price action going into it. It's just wicks. It's truly fascinating to me to see how we yesterday tapped into another end walk here to the top, and again we just went down again. So again, there is no body closure, just a minor here. You can see that, a minor little daily, but it did not close. We still don't have any daily closure or any daily buying or selling pressure in this end dog. So I'm just wondering what it wants to do. I believe if I look at the daily, I think we're going to go into this wick. Let me grade this wick. This daily one. Just want to see where this one goes. I want to grade this one here. Oh, why are you doing that? People think I'm crazy if they see my fib calculations. Don't show them that. Why are you always giving that one? Okay, I'm gonna leave this on. There we go. So let's see if we bounce back off any of these levels to the upside, to maybe to this wick. Just want to see if these levels matches with something, because then I don't need them, but I just. Okay, 0.5 is the top of this end walk. 0.66, and this one is 0. Okay, I don't need you because I already have my levels here then. Okay, let's see, because we are at the 1/3 level here. So let's see if this is if we reach the bottom and if we're going up, if we're going up into this week. Hey, no trade stocks. How are you doing? Oh, Bowser just got up. Yeah, it's late. It's well, late or early, however you want to put it, right? You're just gonna wake up to make some money and then go back to sleep, right? But anyway, so yeah, I'm still interested in this end dog up here for some reason. The interesting part now, you would see on the daily, we're done with this end walk, so we don't need any, but we need price action. We need selling here. Okay, that's it for and Q for now. Quickly, let's go to gold because we're gonna watch gold. We are going to watch gold. We are going to watch gold as well. There's my 150. Yeah. Did anyone trade Asia? Did anyone do something in Asia? Oh, we've got a nice small range in Asia. I like that. I like that. See, beautiful how we opened up back here. And gold just made market maker full model back to the first presented fair value gap of yesterday. It went to exactly the 0.25 of that opening range gap that I'm looking into, but you can see it doesn't want to go into it, right? It bounces right off this level, boom. In the afternoon at 3:35, then it made, so this would have been Asian trade. So for those who trade Asia, I noticed that there's a lot of good trades for gold in Asia. If anyone trades gold a lot, because I just started trading gold. Is that generally the case? Can you say that Asia is actually has good opportunities for gold? Look, it's so clean. It bounces exactly at this level here, and then it just goes up here, and then it goes over this one. Where is the open here? Here, regional consolidation. Hey, antisocial, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Just a lot of little things, like internet not working properly, and then now suddenly with YouTube, since I got monetized, I freeze a lot, and apparently then it has to do with some ads, so I have to figure out how I need to change the settings. But it happens only in New York, so I have to keep an eye on that. Because London yesterday was fine, voice-wise, and so just little things. You know how life is, right? Sometimes you just have to. Hey, Zara Trader, how are you doing? Oh, you traded. Oh, you missed the. Yeah. So, Zara Trader, I was just thinking about that. Like, yeah, if you missed the move here, where would you get in? I was just thinking about that. Where would I get in now if I missed that move? Because we sort of finalized the whole market maker model. So I would be more hesitant to enter anything right now. So I'm going to watch a little bit more before entering. But I do see another, here we got you could say, okay, what are we doing here? But it's just a little bit too, we're going to go we're going to go into the high. So I'm going to wait with gold a little bit longer to see what's happening. But yeah, I mean, this was the move, guys. That's why I was asking if anyone trades Asia in gold and knows, like, when you see a setup like that, it's more likely to move in Asia than maybe in London or New York. I'm just curious if this, because it's so clean, it's really beautiful. Yeah, it's fine now, but hey, listen, yesterday in the New York session, it was horrible again. So, and it was the second day in New York. So, but we'll see. I'm going to keep an eye on it, and if it changes, I can. Grok has informed me that what I can change. So, defocus. I think we uptrend on NQ today. Could be. Could be. Yeah, I'm still looking at this red box, and we've got the December highs here. We are in an uptrend technically, right? Because we have a daily bearish breaker that we moved into here. Like if you would look structurally wise, we retested this right here, and since that moment we've sort of been trending up and just retracing up and retracing up. So as long as this daily breaker is not, as this Asia is good for gold. Okay, gotcha, Bowser. As long as this breaker is being kept intact, I'm actually the higher time frame still bullish, but we could have large retracements to the downside, right? Because it's a daily chart. So it's a bit hard to read in the sense of like, okay, if we're going to go down for a couple of days, technically you're still bullish, but you can still be bearish on the higher time frame due to retracements. But yeah, who knows, deep focus, if we're going to trend, we'll see it soon enough once it starts trending, right? We can see the behavior, propulsion blocks being created. But let's have a look at the 4-hour. Bowser, would you like to share your insights on NQ for London session? We would love to hear your where you at, how you see NQ or gold for the London session. Well, you guys, you know me, right? If I see this, for me, it's hard on a 4-hour. I just need to wait. Why? I do see equal highs here on the 4-hour, yes. We ran into this fair value gap. We already took internal liquidity, and now we're in the middle of this. So it's a bit a tricky read for me. I feel most comfortable if I can read the 4-hour very well. And if I don't, I'm sort of like, okay, I need to wait a little bit longer because we took internal, but I would love to see the 4-hour take out these equals here. But we could also dig deeper into this wick, right? So for me, the question is, are we going to take out these equals on the 4-hour, or are we going to dig deeper into this, or are we going to do both? Now, where's Asia? Asia is here. So if we take Asia highs, we are taking out these. So ICT said something really interesting in his last two. I actually want to touch on that because about Asia itself, and he referred to the kill zone as only between 7 and 9 p.m., which makes sense because yes, there's most of the times when you see Asia open and if you have a move back into the NDOC or NWOC, it usually happens between 7 and 9, right? So I've noticed that. But I am sure that I have been taught, since I've been studying ICT, that the ICT kill zone that we marked, and also if you have those indicators, they're automatically plotted from 8 to 12. Now, I understand that 7 and 9 is the focus area, but I'm just wondering what you guys, because I'm going to keep on using 8 to 12, because it's just for me a reference, because at 12, we have the midnight starting, so that's for me a different way I look at the market. But I was really wondering, because it was the first time that I actually hear him say only between 7 and 9. So I'm like, okay, interesting. So it's shorter now. So the focus area, he shortened the focus area, but I'm sure that it was, well, no, he corrected himself. He said 7 a.m. Yeah, 8. So Bowser, I'm sure that it was 8 to 12. No, he corrected himself yesterday because he said 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. He never said, because I listened to it again and I was like, okay, but I never heard anything about 8 to 12 anymore. But no, June BA, I don't agree with that, because till 10 a.m. London time, 10 a.m. London time. Now, for me, midnight is should be separate, because you wanna watch, you don't want to include midnight into Asia. So, but anyway, I just want to if people have listened to it and they see my chart 8 to 12, like, hey, why is that? But yeah, so and also when we say Asia is taken, right? Some people might take their Asia time now to 9 p.m. and then when we have a drop at 11, they would say, oh, Asia is already taken. But for me, it's not taken until just after midnight. But anyway, I think the old OGs who have been studying ICT, I think we all have been taught, I'm almost sure because I've got it in my notes, Asia kill zone 8 to 12, right? So I just want to put it out there that and now it's only 2 hours according to the latest information, but I'm not going to change it. Okay, let's have a look at gold again. So, who was in the long for gold? Hey, L7, how are you? 11:15 p.m. in Hello, California. How are you doing? How is California doing? Okay, no trade stocks as long and Q short gold and silver. ZAR trader. Oh, ZAR trader. Yeah, it was you who was long. Okay. Do you have a TP? Are you anticipating new price? We're going to go into price exploration, and do you have a target? Let's see. Let me see. 4653. I wonder if we can go 4653 for gold if we're going to spike up, because we have the highs at 4747. Could we go to 79? Okay, Bowser. I was thinking they would come into the 15-minute wick at the lows, made in power hour. I think we, aka the 4-hour high, and then make a new 4-hour low, and then maybe flip again. Yeah, so it's a lot of flipping around, right? Yeah. Um, so let's have a look if they go into this wick here. Cold, but also pretty some tensions, not much. Okay. Oh, is it cold in California? I remember I worked on a cruise ship, Carnival Cruises, when I was really, really young, and we would have a dry dock in California. And I was like, oh my God, I thought, oh, I'm just going to go cruise in the Caribbean and stuff like that. So I didn't bring much warm clothes because I was so happy. But then we got into California, into LA. Oh my God, and it was so cold. So I had to really buy clothes. I remember that it was around this time of year as well. I was like, oh, I was so not prepared. Um, yeah, I was so not prepared. LA, my city's 11. Yeah, that's not fun, right? I always, before I ever actually visited LA, I always had this idea that California was always like, even in winter, very not that warm as in summer, but I never thought it would get that cold. It's really weird that I had this idea that um, it is sort of like I thought, oh, it's like subtropical, and it's just, like it cools down a little bit at night, but mm-mm, I was taught very quickly. No, it's actually 29 where for me, I am here at 29 degrees right now. I can see the temperature, yeah. But it depends where you're staying, right? In South Africa is we've got like, if you want cold weather, you can go to the mountains, you'll freeze your ass off. I went to the mountains one time in our winter and I'm like, okay, never again. Um, it was so cold. But if you stay in the coast or Limpopo, the Lowveld where I'm from, in the bush, summer is really really hot, which I like, and humid. And in winter, it's very nice, sunny in daytime, but it gets a little bit more chilly at night. That's it. Yeah. Hey, L7, I have a beach as well, but it doesn't get 11 degrees here. Not in day. Well, at nighttime it can sometimes, though. I must say, yes. But then it's really, really cold. And we actually had snow in some areas of South Africa, which normally never had snow. So, which is crazy. Okay, I'm just watching for now, guys. I'm not interested in a long on gold either. I just want more confirmation. Now you would say this would be bullish structure, right? But I really want this to be activated and the breaker, but then if we get over, let me see, if we get over on gold, I'm just thinking, I mean, if we would take a high, I wouldn't be surprised if we could make it to 646.53-ish for 454-ish and then take it from there. So on gold, it is just then 47. So let's see if it takes out the, oh, it's 223. If it's going to take the high, if it can make a move all the way to 4654-ish. Yeah, gold looks like it wants to pop, right? Because we already have sort of like 3 equal highs. Or 4647. I'm just not going to take it. I'm not interested. I just want to see if the calculation works out. Okay, let's see. 465. That might be about here. Yeah. If I see this breaker activated and the smallest retest, I would enter it and just. But then the thing is, if I need, it's not such a large move, right? This is the trade that I'm interested in, but I don't have enough. I can't really frame a proper risk reward, I think. So I have to probably let it go. You're in a long, my friend, not in a short. Are you crazy? See, I can't frame a good trade from here, risk reward wise. If I use this here, if I use the order block, let me see if I can use the order block. I have to use half. That would be better, maybe. Okay, hold on. 46, 443. I really like this level, 4653. I'll quickly have a look at NQ. I really don't like NQ at the moment. It's just telling me nothing. We could hang in this fair value gap here and just sort of like go back up between these. You can see it's sort of like bouncing between these two here. I don't see. We could just we could as well spike back up again. You see this? We're at the midpoint of this wick here, so it could spike back up. Let's see. $230. Okay, let's see. We make a low here, and then we might. I want to. If it goes into here, I'll take a long. Preferably at 233. If we don't go too low. Just breaker. . 232. 233. Okay, I like it. I'm not too crazy about the price action, to be honest. It's only a paper trade, by the way. I'm not putting my account on the line for this my price action. So on the 15, we created another high here. So now we have four, one, two. Let me just get rid of this one here. So I don't know how much, if we're gonna consolidate more. So it might just be not the time yet, right, to take these out. Um, it's a bit of a risk. I mean, it's sort of, it's almost a gamble time-wise, to be honest. But we have 130, you know, it's just a matter of when is the time. It might manipulate back into this range one more time. So we'll see. I'm not really a breakout trader, to be honest, but it looks like it wants to pop a little bit, but um, so I'm using this first presented fair value gap of the midnight. So because we've been hanging out, I'm looking at the 150 to 210 macro. What did we do there? Within the macro, so how am I using this macro? I'm looking like, okay, the first presented, the body stayed within the macro, and it didn't go outside on the bottom. So yes, we went a little bit higher here, but we stayed inside. We sort of like, I just consider this consolidation. So that's why I'm sort of like I'm just using this fair value gap. We have midnight still below us. Looking at the structure, is this are we already, did we start the distribution to the upside? Now I could be wrong. I was wrong last time when I misread the distribution, but it was actually still the manipulation that was forming. But if this is A and if this is M and the distribution is already in progress, then we could, we could get a little bit more movement to the upside. I like it that, so what I didn't see last time when I misread it is that it went into the opening range gap, and it does here, but it doesn't mean that this is really the true manipulation, right? So, but and even so, if it is, it could still wake me out, go into the range, because we do have a dealing range, right? So the best trade is when you have a retracement into in the OTE level, and then you go up, right? Now I'm trying to be a breakout trader with the risk of being stopped out. Okay, we did go into 38%. I like that. I like that. But we still could go down another time. Yeah, I see. NQ is a lot. I think NQ is a bit more long than short at the moment, but where were those wicks? So we see we hit 0.5 of this wick, but I don't think anything is a long or just like large trades. It's just sort of like bouncing in between areas, right? I wouldn't really stay in very long. But also here, let's calculate the Dealing range. Here you go. 702 is where settlement price is, and it's also the event horizon. So 896 will be my. It's just a small trade, but maybe from here. Well, it's not actually that small, is it? 864 to 896-ish. 30 points. I think it's a long for 30 points. And Q. David, well, it's actually a compliment that you cannot recognize my accent. But I'm from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa. But we Dutchies, we have a really, if you hear Dutch people speak English, we have a specific accent that you most of the times can pick us apart. So the fact that you are asking is actually telling me that maybe because I haven't spoken Dutch for a long time. I actually spoke Dutch this weekend. I went for a lunch with a friend, and she has another Dutch friend. And she says, "Well, we can talk Dutch." And the other friend is Belgium, so we can speak. We can. And it was so weird. It's like I feel like I'm speaking Dutch now with like I'm really articulating words, and it sounds weird now. I'm like, like I have to think longer about words. Deep focus. NQ on the daily is prime for a bullish breakout. I think on the lower time we should see the setup soon. Yeah, well, I think we're already going up but the moves are quite small now. I think we should not expect too much large movements yet, right? What do you think? I think we might go up to the 702 level here, or maybe even lower. I don't know. Maybe just 0.5 and go back into this wick maybe. I think it's gonna go back and forth. Wick here, wick. Let's have a look at gold again. Oh, gold is also going down now. Save your bullets for after the news, guys. I mean, until everything is really clear and you get nice A plus setups. For now, it's just guessing, and you're just stuck in between ranges being created. Um, unless you're a scalper. I mean, I'm not talking from a scalper's point of view because I know you scalpers do well on the short term. $241. See what we're having: wick, lower wick, a candle without a wick, lower wick, lower wick, lower wick, lower wick, lower wick, lower wick. I only aim for 1% a week on a funded account. That still puts me in the top 0.1% of earners in my country. Well done. Which country did focus? Did you mention where you're from? That's a good example of just being happy, just being content with a specific calculation, which you know you can aim for, and that's really awesome. I like to hear that because that means you're really, you take what you probably also wait for your A plus setup because you know you just need 1%, right? Um, oh, you're in the UK, okay. Yeah, inflation is, yeah, I know. I want to say something, but I'm going to refrain from saying it. But I think you know what I wanted to say, probably most likely. Yeah. 2:45. We're almost at the macro. Let's see. Let me check the news again if something new slid in, because yesterday the Trump news slid in. And you know what's so weird? Deep focus, like the South Africans, their Afrikaans is similar to Dutch, right? But when they speak English, I never, when I used to come here for the first time, I could never really differentiate South Africans from English because their English was so, they speak English very well. But if a Dutch person, even though our language, Afrikaans and Dutch are both horrible, I mean, it's very harsh, right? But for some reason, the South and Afrikaans actually even worse. But their English, when they speak English, it sounds so much better than as when we Dutch speak it. So I guess, but also I grew up in Singapore, so I guess I have been speaking English more. When I was really little, I spoke more English than Dutch, I guess. But then I moved to the Netherlands, and then it swapped again. But I guess so. You pick up where where you are. I guess you change without even noticing it if you're. Yeah, I guess so. I find many, and your accent is exactly the same as theirs. I cannot hear a Dutch accent at all. Well, I guess that's a compliment then. I really see that as a compliment. Well, there are some people that really. It was weird that even a few years ago they would say, "Oh, you're from the Netherlands. I can hear your accent." And I said, "Yeah, well, yeah, we cannot hide it." But now, if I'm sounding like a South African speaking English, I guess my English has become better. So, and I guess streaming as well helps me. But yeah, South Africans. They do have also a specific way of. I can hear the difference now, by the way. But anyway, I think it's not time to go yet. I think I'm going to be stopped out. I'm going to leave it. If I get stopped out, I have to journal it. And I look at the time, 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 time. Time wasn't ready. We've got so much liquidity as well here. And also they formed this candle here with this structure. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see what NQ is doing. I'll swap around a little bit just to see what's going on. Slow, slow, slow. Let's have a look at oil quickly. it, oil, the daily. What day is it today? It's Wednesday, right? Okay, it's not Thursday. Monthly oil. Who trades oil here? Hey, silver bull trader, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome to the family. How are you doing? It's an original name because I was like, oh, silver bullet. No, it's silver bull. I like that. Silver bull trader, or actually, it's silver bullet trader, but one T. But it could be read silver bull trader. Original. Hey, Ellen. Hey, Ellen, how are you doing? Long time no see. I'm waiting for it to take all those lows wicks just below price. Yes, yes, yes. You can see it's setting up beautifully, right? Wick, lower wick, wickless, but it could reject here. That's why I put my stop below that before I moved it. But then I think once it starts going, it's beautiful, right? Look at all those wicks, and here equal lows as well. Tony Fibo, hello, hello. Guys, I said it. It's sort of like it's a paper trade. I always paper trade the first two trades in the morning because I haven't. Um, I like doing that. Okay, and I do think we're bullish, but we could have a very large OTE retracement to the downside. Oh, Silver Bull, you're also from South Africa. I'm in South Africa as well. Where are you staying? Or where in which area are you? So I'm originally from the Netherlands, but I live in South Africa now. South Africa is my home. I consider it my home. They can throw me out anytime. I can be thrown out anytime. Yes. They can deport me anytime. Oh, you're in Joburg. Okay. I'm in KwaZulu-Natal, but I originally are in Limpopo near in Hoedspruit. I will go back to that area in a year, maybe max a year, I should say. Max a year, yes. Okay, the macro has started and we're looking to go down, so I'm getting out already. I just want to see 252. I'm just going to wait into this wick. If we're going to go lower, I might get out already because the macro is already in. And if we get bearish price action, I don't want to wait until it takes my stop. Okay. Hmm. Okay, I'm getting. I don't want to wait. I'm on the 1 minute. 53. I just want to wait until this candle closes. Yeah, okay, I'm getting out. I'm gonna wait for this one. Okay. 6 years total, 3 years ICT. Silver bull. Okay, so I got out of the trade because I was okay, the macro starts, so we have already 50, 51, 52, 53 showing bearish. We did not reject in the mid, we went lower than the midpoint of this wick. Um, doo, 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 doo. Let's put the OTE on. We might go all the way to this first presented and tap into this level or midnight. Let's see. Do you trade NQ or just gold? I trade both, but mainly more NQ than gold, to be honest. But today, for me, this looks a little bit more clean than NQ. So I thought, let me try to be a breakout trader today. But obviously didn't work. The time is not right yet. So I do think this is a very solid level for the price to go and to either retrace from there or just blast through it at some point. But this is a level I would reassess for my gold trade. But I mean, I'm still bullish because if you look at the structure, I see A, M, D. So I would think, are we in distribution to the upside? So let's see if we respect the OTE levels and then go back up in gold. So I'm hoping I see the A, M, D correctly, but I could be wrong. We could be forming the M and the D could totally do the downside. So we'll see. We'll go back to NQ. So why I don't like NQ too much now. Why? Show you. Because of this. You see, I can't make anything of this on the 4 hour. It's sort of I'm like, okay, what are we going to do first? Which wick are we going to go into first? So we have a new 4 hour candle at 2, right? And we've got 2 large candles. Let me get rid of this. We've got wicks on both sides. So the question is, where are we going to go into first? Up or down? And most likely when you have wicks like that, you will get price action back and forth for a while. So that's why I'm not interested in NQ. Unless I see something very clear, like if it goes into a wick and you can tell, okay, it's really disrespecting all these levels, so we might take out this liquidity. But this wick is lower than this, and like ICT already says, you can expect high resistance in this area. And these look equal, right? And this not. This is taken out that one. So, do you have a full-time job, David? This is actually my full-time. Since I started streaming, well, obviously I was just trading as my source of income. I don't think, well, it was full-time because I studied a lot for the last 3 years. Well, mainly the last 2 years, 2.5 years, I've been studying a lot. So it was sort of like I did spend a fair amount of day behind the candlestick charts and the videos. So it was a full-time job, yes, in the sense of getting up to speed and back testing, forward testing, journaling. It all takes time, especially when you start and you're new to it. But now I am spending a lot of time streaming. So I guess that's where my time now goes. And during the stream, I try to trade, and sometimes I also trade outside stream. So So I don't have any other job. I'm not allowed to have a job in South Africa because I'm not South African. So this is my only. There was no plan B for me. I had to make this work. Otherwise, I can't stay. So this is how I managed to, I guess, call myself a digital nomad. Mm. If I can't make any money with trading, I have to go back to the Netherlands and find a job, which will be, I guess, getting harder and harder because I'm out of the. I don't think I can work for a boss anymore. I think I got too much attached to the freedom. So I have to. There's no plan B. There is no plan B. What about you? What do you do? Yeah, and I wish I say it again. I wish I started journaling sooner. Um, See how long we've been hanging in this area, guys? It's just not moving, right? It's just so little points. So not interesting. I think gold is more interesting now for potential trades, but we'll keep on monitoring both. We will keep monitoring both. No, you're not nosy at all. I appreciate the questions. Um, no worries. Yes, London is open. London is open. Yay. Same here. I lost my job recently, so I have to make this work. Yes. Sorry to hear that, Eric. But it's all possible if you work hard enough, and it's all. I mean, sometimes you just don't have the and well, it's not good to do it from a point of. But hey, I think if you're really dedicated and even if there is urgence, it's still manageable. You just have to manage the stress that comes with urgency, right? There's actually another factor, but if you can um, manage that, it's and don't be greedy. It's actually really funny, right? It's so funny that if I would look back into in the time that I was over trading and like, even though you would make more money than with your old job, why would you want to, you like say for your old job, you make like that amount and which is fairly, I guess if you have some technical knowledge, I guess. And then you are like, oh my God, there is more options. And then you go for this more option. That's where you start, maybe have a losing trade or whatever. But if you would just stick to that amount that you make for your job, or maybe a little bit more and just stop. Um, it's really weird. And if I, went back into my charts, like, why would I? So that's greed, right? That was where greed comes in, sort of like a form of, yeah. I have a full-time job, just find it difficult to trade while at work. Yeah, I think your boss, your boss would be agreeing that it should be difficult to trade at work, right? I guess that's not. Yeah, I don't know what kind of work you do, but you have to be careful that you lose your job because of trading, right? But silver bull, yeah. I mean, most people find themselves in that position. But it's a good thing to still have a job while you're learning to finance the costs for the time being, and then um, while you're working, you grow and you make money instead of losing money, and it takes a little bit more discipline, even if your job, because you need to study outside of work, and sometimes you're just tired. So, but yeah, just be careful. Don't lose your job, and study in the time. Yeah, you go out a little bit less, and then within a year, you'll be, who knows. Essential bee plant heaven. Oh, I like that. But it's always everything is easier said than done, right? I mean, it's like I cannot look into your inner lives and how people are feeling and how, I mean, if you're really miserable with your job, for example, I mean, I was at some point. The job, being on the job, just drains your energy, right? Because you're just not happy with the what was the term? What was the term? It was such a good term. It's like, yeah, you can get really like bore out. Yeah, this is the term that. So everybody knows the term burnout, right? But there's a similar term, and that is just equally can be as significant. That's a bore out. Those symptoms are literally the same. People with a bore out show similar things as people with a burnout. So it's just as important. If you're bored at work and you really don't like your job, you can get similar symptoms as people with a burnout. I was one of them, by the way. So, yeah. You only trade at work when nobody's watching. Okay, well, if it works, it works. Okay, let's see if we go to this fair value gap here, 702, and see if we reject there. Captain Singh, good to see you're taking questions, helping. What was your observation just before you start making profit? Your answer helped. I'm curious. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I made profit, it's not like a straight line, and it's not like everything clicks in one time. It's not like, oh, I've got one moment, it clicks everything, and then you're profitable. It didn't go like that. So you start being profitable, and then suddenly you're not. So you have suddenly I had 1 month with 8 payouts, and I was like, oh my God, I'm doing so well. And then I don't know if I got arrogant or whatever, what happened. And then I was like, and then I fell in my traps again, and I had to work a couple of months to get back to the next profit. So it was like, it wasn't like, oh my God, you're profitable. And then, so, I was profitable, then I had a setback, and then slowly, those setbacks became less and less. So it's not a straight line becoming profitable. And also things that click. It's very funny when I hear someone say, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I've just been studying and I'm overwhelmed now, and I don't know, I don't see anything correctly anymore. But that is actually the time that you are learning. And then when you go into the chart, suddenly in the next few weeks, the days, things start to click more. Then you see things, oh my God, now I see it. And now but it's a lot. But being confused is actually very normal when you really study. So, and also, I also want to mention that people that are in a break-even phase, so your P&L is not moving, you are suddenly trading and you're getting better, but you're not making profits, or you can't make to a payout, but you're also not blowing accounts. I've been in that phase, and also I was like, oh my God, what is happening? Nothing is happening. But in hindsight now, that's actually really, really a good phase to be in. You're actually growing, but you don't see it yet. It's like there's only one or two pieces of the puzzle still missing, for example, but you're not losing any money. You're actually already, you're doing your risk management correctly. and it feels it's a very frustrating phase when you're in it because you don't realize that you're actually really, really close. And but if people are in a break-even phase and it feels too long, hey, don't worry, you're very close. And um, it is just I had someone mention it on stream that, oh my god, I'm in break-even already for such a long time. I'm so frustrated. And then I thought, oh, I remember that phase as well. Um, yeah, so I just want to say, if anyone is in a break-even phase and not losing any money, but also not making P&L's just not moving yet, or no payouts yet, but you haven't blown any accounts and you're there almost, but it goes very slow. No worries. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The more you practice, so I'm also that's why I take a lot of paper trades as well for execution and watching price, tape read, tape read, tape read, without putting your money on the line. Um, so I got stopped out on that London trade. It didn't cost me any money. It just told me that I was timing wise off. The market is not ready to move to make that move. So no harm. And it gives you intel, and it just tells me to be a little bit more careful now. So I'm just watching if my levels are working out. Is it respecting OTE levels, or are we going to go lower? Because if we are, then I might be interested in this area here. But let's see. So it seems to be respecting the 702 level. Oh, Captain Singh, you're welcome. Um, I think this is also part of what I want with this channel, right? It's not about just pushing affiliate links and just also sort of like help each other with the mental aspect of trading. And when price action is hard, it's just I think sometimes I feel um, um, it's reassuring when I see, oh, price action is really hard for me today, and then other people have the same, so like, okay, price action is a little bit difficult today, so no worries. We're just gonna wait until it's easier. Okay, so I did the OT level on a small. Let's see if I calculate the OT levels on the larger range, right? Because we have a 1 hour range as well. I noticed. Let's see, because we could go much lower. If we disrespect this OTE level here, let's see what we have here on gold. You see how slow NQ is moving, right? It's just hardly. Okay, 3:15. Should I enter or not in a long? I'm still long bias for gold. What is Asia? Asia's here. David, I don't have a one trading strategy I use. I just use ICT builder blocks. So mainly what I look at is I just try to see the market and where are the imbalances, where's the liquidity, and I use the PD rates and time. For me, time, I look at time a lot. So I try to combine the things because I don't want to put it down in one strategy, but for me, it's like also understanding dealing ranges, market maker buy and sell model. So for example, also gold is for me, like the best trade would have been in Asia, right? Because you make a low here. You can see that right over here. No, where is the low? Hold on, let me go to the 15. So we made this low in yesterday afternoon. And if you see specific structure, you can, okay, this is a breaker. We have, we've got to pass through the break. This breaker has been activated. Retest here. Well, not really. Oh, this is interesting, by the way. Thank you for pointing that out. We have a breaker without a retest. So we could expect that now. Let me see. I want to mark this breaker. That is a good one because I did not notice that. It's an untested breaker. So this breaker has been activated by this pass through, but it hasn't been retested. So let's see, where is this breaker? Ooh. So if we would go to the 0.5 of this dealing range, we could have a retest of the breaker before we go up. So I guess that's my trading in a nutshell. Now looking for imbalances, retest, time has to line up with it. I'm trading macros. I look what happens in specific macros. What do we form? But this is sort of hard because now we are in price discovery here already. Because if you could identify, your inversion here, your breaker, and then you go to the regional consolidation, you can literally trade your full market maker buy and sell model. It's not that I use one concept. I use a lot of them. It's all building blocks, but like I said, I use gaps, the gap theory, like, okay, what are the imbalances and what is liquidity? And then you have to implement time as well. But you use the PD arrays to read the market, to make it like, what do I see? Okay, so this is my breaker, my inversion, where's my mitigation block, where are the propulsion blocks? Everything on its own. Rejection blocks are my breakers, and rejection blocks are my favorite. So it's not one thing I use because it's just, you just have to, they're all building blocks. And but I just see gaps and imbalances and liquidity. That's what I try to work with, and that's why I have these yellow levels. These are for me, like for example, this opening range gap has a lot of imbalances still left. So I'm still watching this area because we need to balance out this yellow area still. But when is the time is when, right? The question is when will it do it? So I keep them on my chart. For example, in NQ, we have this. I'm still watching this area as an imbalance. Where's my, this red box is for me very important. And on the 4 hour, you can see we have some candles going into it. But on the daily, It's only wicks so far. So I'm waiting for the day that we're going to get the we're going to get the distribution. I want a daily candle into this one and I thought we were going to get that Friday, but we did not. Friday just went into this end walk here, boom, and it rejected from it. And I thought Friday, oh, we're finally going to get a daily candle, but it moved away from it again. The Discord link is in the. I pinned it in the chat, Silver Bull. Look in the chat at the pinned message. That is the correct. It should be the correct one. Let me know if it's not. Then I need to change it again. But it should be the correct one. So I'm very much. I really. So what I would like to see today is that we go into this week today. We let me mark this week now because we are. I think we're going to go lower anyway. So that we stop somewhere in this wick, then we go back up, maybe with the is a PPI today, yes, and then target these December highs. But that means if we go to the December highs, we are finally going to get a distribution candle. So I'm waiting for that large distribution move, and I'll be ready. This trade will not go without me. Wherever I am, I will take this trade. I want a distribution candle daily, preferably. So that means it needs to go up here. Oh, Nora, thank you for letting me know. Yeah. The hardest part of trading for me, I would say two things. Mastering patience, but I'm getting better with that. And in all honesty, losing a lot of people over it, friends who are just not supportive. I let go of a lot of friends, or friends. I don't consider them friends anymore, because people are not interested in helping you, or especially when you start being successful. Um, so that's the second hardest thing. Yeah, you have to find a new community, and I found that with you guys. So, but that was the hardest thing for me. Well, not really friends over trading, but um, you just notice that you can't really. So when I moved to South Africa, it wasn't always as easy. I mean, life looks very, it's nice. I have a good life. I cannot complain, but it hasn't always been very easy. And when I would say things like, but I can go back into my IT background and do online work to stay here, or I could just, is the link in the chat is not working? Let me check. Let me check. Oh, you're right. Okay, let me quickly change it. Thank you for letting me know. Let me quickly change it. I guess it's, for some reason I have to change it every day almost. I don't know why. I don't know. There we go. I'll change it. I'll pin this one here. There you go. This should let me know if it doesn't work. Okay, so the crackling of the I really have no idea. Sometimes it does not do it, and sometimes it does. The Wi-Fi issue is going to be sorted. The freezing has to do with the monetization. That only happens when I stream during New York. That for some reason the push of YouTube is just different than it was before the monetization. It has to do with some ads that they put on. So I'm trying to figuring out what's going on. But the crackling, I just don't know why it happens sometimes and sometimes when it does not. So, but at some point I just want to buy just a whole new setup. So let's see. Um, yeah, Trader X6. I think so too. Uh, I think so too. Oh, Trader X6, I'll go into that. I have enough RAM, but I think something's wrong with this laptop from the moment I got it. The moment I got it, even when I started it, I would have, without even putting anything on it, I was already using 80 or 90% of the maximum. And I tried to go back, but it's a little bit difficult here. So I think something is wrong with the new laptop on general. So I was sort of like, oh, you know what, I'll just figure it out. But it doesn't get any better. But I should have enough, but I think something is off. Or it's I don't know what's going on, but I'll talk that outside the stream because it's just annoying. David, three last questions. What firm do you use? How many contracts or NQ do you usually trade? How long have you been profitable? Okay, I trade my own account, and I'm going to do that live on TradingView. I'm with the brokerage. We're actually in touch, trying to convert my current live account to the one so I can connect it to TradingView because now I can't. And I was telling him, listen, I want to because what I will do with this new account, or with it's not a new account, but what I want to do with this live account, trade M and Q, and I want to showcase that it's not that hard um, to trade with a small amount and start your own live account and move away or combine it with trading prop firms because there's so much negativity now in prop firms. So you can also prepare yourself like, hey, listen, I do both, but if something happens with that prop firm, I always have a backup with my own account. So that's what's something I want to focus on. So that's what I'm doing right now. And also, what he's told me, he wants to, because it's an American brokerage, but they want to focus, they want to start expanding their clientele for people like myself that are not living in the US but do want an American brokerage. So I said, oh, that's interesting because I got a lot of time, these questions. Now you're not asking that question, but I do want to address it like, okay, for people that are not from the US but want a brokerage, which is trustworthy, which is reliable and opens up their possibilities to non-US residents. So anyway, that's one. And then besides that, I only trade with Funded Next as a prop firm. And talking about if I use MNQ, for example, or MQ, I do both. It depends on what I'm doing and what the market is doing. Um, when there is distribution days and it's very clear, and you know, we put higher time frame AMD, and I see it, I go all in. I go with NQ, but you'll see when I trade my live account, you can make a lot of money with MNQ. I'm telling you guys, it's really, there is no shame in trading MNQ, because like I said yesterday as well, and even with one or two, you can still make quite a nice amount of money, which was more than what I would make in my old job per day. So I'm just saying, it depends on me, for me, you know, when I use what, but I show only when I put the paper trade on, and I will do that as well with my live account, because I think ticks is more important, because sometimes I trade NQ, sometimes I trade MNQ, but the amount on NQ, when I have a full market maker, when I'm in distribution, you know, it's a lot of 150 points is a lot of money on NQ. So I don't want people to focus on the money, because sometimes it's MNQ, sometimes it's NQ. So I only put the ticks on, and I wish I could put the percentage on, because it's more important, like how are you trading percentage wise or whatever. So so that's why I only show the tick amounts, because I want to take away the focus on the money amount, if that makes sense. Because sometimes it's MNQ, sometimes it's NQ, and I only chart on NQ. So, but I don't want people to focus on the money amount, because it just distracts from what is actually more important. That's what is the setup, what's the R2R, you know, how many losses have I had before that's a winning trade, you know, because people only show the winning trade, but sometimes I take 2 or 3 stabs because time is not ready. So you have to deduct those from your winning trade, you know. So it's that insight that I want to share. And yes, with MNQ you can easily scale in and out, because, you know, and obviously even though with the commissions they're not that high, so you can, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can scale in and out. So it depends on the strategy. It depends on my model, what model presents itself. How do I feel? If I feel like, okay, I'm not feeling, you know, I've got a lot of things going on today. I've got internet issues. I'm just, you know, I'm not on my, I already have a few losses. You know what? I'll keep it to MNQ today, or just paper trade, for example. Hey, but if I'm having a good day, if I know already, like, okay, today is full distribution, it's really giving you clear setups, and I already, you know, feel like I'm reading it correctly, my execution and analysis is on point, then I just don't hesitate. I don't always say it. I just say I'm in my account, but I don't say if it's MNQ or NQ, because I don't think it's important. It's just more about the strategy and the just the why and the logic behind the trade, right? I think that's where you learn from, not how much money I make or how much. Well, yeah, you can learn from how much money I lose, I guess, if I'm not doing proper risk management. So, hey, listen, I had when I started doing MGC, I had a monster trade on MGC with just micros, and I made so much. I was like, what? MGCs, and it was just such a beautiful trade. I think it was 170 points on I had two. I think it was one was 100 and a runner had 170 points. It was like, I was like, what? How much money that was on just MGC? It was crazy. Yeah. So MGC, it's just go micros, guys. You can still make a good chunk of money, and until you're really ready and have a solid model where you back tested and you tested it 100 times and you have over 60-70% win rate on that model, then start to dabble in one NQ. So another question, David, too. How much do I, if I trade NQ, I don't go higher than 2 or 3 max on NQ, by the way. But I do trade with more MNQs depending on the structure and the model. But I technically don't go more than 1 or 2 NQs. So I might do more at some point, but I don't. It's okay. That's my limit for now. Yes. Okay. NQ, by the way. Oh, 333. Let's see. Let's see what we're doing. I want to see how we react here. So I like the 9-minute time frame. Three, three, three. I think I'm getting in a long or gold. What mindset are used for Nasdaq futures? What mindset are used for Nasdaq futures? I don't understand the question. What mindset is used for Nasdaq futures? Okay, hold on, guys. I just want to check this. I see structure, inversion, breaker activated. 3:35. I like the time. Okay, let's see if we can get a 2-hour trade from. Okay, I'm getting in. Hold on. I'm still thinking about this. Okay, it's a 2-hour trade, and I just want to see if the breaker is set up. So the breaker retest. Now we didn't have a breaker retest yet. I'm aware. I am aware. I just want to see if we can get a 2-hour trade from the setup. And if it's wrong, it's a paper trade because I'm just not. I'm not going to use my bullets until the PM, New York AM session, I think. Get 2R. Okay, so breaker retest means we activate the breaker, right? Talking about, I'll get into the 9-minute. This was the breaker retest here, boom. So this is the retest. So now I want to see price movement to the upside. If it goes back down again, I might be, because we do have bearish fair value gaps. Okay, the breaker retest. It works 80%. It doesn't always work, but a lot of the times it does work when you have structure. $328. Okay, so breaker retest, what does it mean? We are looking for a change in the state of delivery on the 5-minute. Now, technically on the 5-minute, I don't like the structure too much because it's just, we just had a retracement to the downside. We're in at midnight and we're in a fair value gap, so it could just fail on me again. But on the 3-minute, let's see, do we have a breaker? Not really. I don't like the structure. But on the 1-minute, we have. Now the 1-minute 2R just gave me to here, right? So this might be too high for now if we don't have the continuation to the upside. Let's see. I like the 9-minute, especially when it's very when it's barcoding and when it's not clear to me. I like the 3-minute, and when the 3-minute when I want more to zoom out, I go to the 9-minute to see just a little bit more than I see on the 3-minute, if that makes sense. I'm just on a paper trade, by the way. So on the 9-minute here, so you see, oh, hold on, not you. Just want to show you the difference. I'll go on the 1-minute here. So you see on the 1-minute, it's a lot doing this and this. And it's in a range, right? And when I go to the 9-minute, I just see more clearly that we made a low at 1:30 and we made a high at 3 o'clock. So the question is this a London high on NQ? Now let's do the same on, now gold is a little bit clearer to me. But here, 327, did we make the London low? So if that's the case, then I would almost know that we might not make another high before 4 o'clock, right? Because we either make a London low or a London high between 2:30 and 4. It's not a fixed rule, but you sort of like can, when you have a low or a high, London doesn't tend to make a low and a high within a similar half hour. That makes sense, right? If we make a low here, I don't expect to make a high. So I might be a little bit, we might have to wait till after 4 o'clock. So it could be that we have a rate, we go up. So like this was 2R, right? So I might have to change it to a little bit lower, but we'll see. It might just fill on me and then we might go lower. This is where time comes in, which is important. Like what happens at certain times, right? We're respecting this fair value gap. 328, 334, inversion. Now let's see if we can go, if we are disrespecting this one here. Now I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to go lower again and tack into this area here. Let's see. Trader school, I use all time frames. So higher time frame analysis, you go from the weekly, monthly, daily. I use the 4-hour a lot, and I have other tabs open which are not on screen, but I look at the 15-minute a lot. I do circle through different timings just to see different things. So it's not really only one or two, but just a bunch. But then on screen, as you can see, I do look at the one, and sometimes I trade off the 30 seconds as well if I need more information. But intraday, but you want to start, even though it's intraday, I trade off the 3, 5, 1, 30 seconds. Everybody's a little bit different. I know a lot of people that don't even go lower than the 5-minute and do really well intraday. I need more information. I want to see where the small gaps are, especially on the 3. Sometimes I notice, which is really weird, that on specific days, if I look at the 3, I see that the little gaps on the 3-minute are very much used. And then I go also to the 9-minute because 3, 6, 9, right? So it's just, and if you use the 5, I got a question last week. Someone said, yeah, but why not the 10-minute? I said, well, if you use the 5, there's nothing wrong to use the 10 minutes. But because I use the 3-minute a lot, it makes more sense to me to use the 9-minute instead of the 10, right? But there's nothing wrong if you use the 5 and the 10-minute. So it just depends on what you like to watch and what you, but you have to have some consistency, right? So if you use the 5, you can use the 10 if you want to zoom out a little bit more, but not go to the 15 yet. And if you use the 3, you can go to 6, you can go to 9. Just test it for yourself, right? What you feel comfortable with, what your eyes like, because it's also like, okay, But you need to have some consistency in the logic. Okay, let's see if we can get 2R from this breaker retest trade. That means it needs to disrespect this one and almost, I think it could reject here in this wick and not take out the highs again. That could be the 2R trade. So let me lower my, so it's almost a one-to-one trade. So I normally don't trade that on my evals on my accounts. I'm not too much. Well, it's a gold, by the way, so I would trade more. But one-to-one is something I tend not to like too much. But I'll do it on a paper trade. Let's see. But if this is the low, the London low, I don't think we're going to break the high before 4 o'clock. Let's see. But the question is it the low? Hey, how's your session been? Hey, love that the goal should be figuring out what works. Yeah, because I can say what I like, but everybody brains work differently, and maybe if I like the breaker, but you like the order block, or you like something else, and you just see things. If I point out things, I remember that I had a mentor, and like, oh, I just don't understand what he's saying, and he's a genius, but I don't see it how he does. So you have to figure it out for yourself, right? And that's where the back testing comes in, and the journaling. Because if I see something, it just doesn't resonate with everybody. I understand that. Yeah. So that's why people that look for signals will never be profitable, right? Because they are not really looking for themselves or trying to figure out what works for them. You just take something from someone else and you go into the charts, and then you're like, okay, that resonates to me, or that doesn't. But you might see something that someone said and think, oh, but I see something actually different, and oh wow, that's interesting, or okay, this is nice, I like it. Let's see if we can get the 2R. So the breaker retest, it is just the logic of the breaker is an extra confirmation of bullish price action. So there's a change in the state of delivery, because this is the order block, and an order block is nothing else than change in state of delivery. So we go from bearishness to bullishness. So if you use the order block, technically we didn't have an order block retest, right? But we did tap into the breaker. So if you would have used the order block, you would not had a retest here in this area. So that already makes me think like, how reliable is this one? Because we don't have structure on the 3-minute, and we don't have structure on the 5-minute. I always test that. If I see structure like this, oh, do I have my inversion, turtle soup, inversion breaker, fair value gap? We already disrespect the fair value gap, so I trust it to go a little higher. But look on the 3-minute again. We don't have really a clear, it's a little bit, where's your, it doesn't look nice, right? And on the 5-minute, you just have one, it just looks like, it could be just a retracement, and we go into it and we go back down. So, but let's see if it works out. This trade. So I didn't put my TP, I should put a little bit lower. Like if this is a rejection block, then it might get rejected here. Was that the 2R? Didn't even get there yet. What time is it? 3:48. Okay, let's see if I was too greedy again. I have to journal it. It was too greedy. It was too high. Okay, again, let me just put it on. Just want to make sure. So this is what you journal, right? Okay. It doesn't matter where you get in on the breaker, but you just want to see the 2R from the top of the breaker, and because your stop has to go always be below the the low of the breaker because that's your safety net, and then you take 2R. If you have a better entry, that's good, but then you just get more than 2R, right? This is the logic of the trade. So it's exactly at the top of the London, which gives 2R. A little bit higher actually, right? If I calculate it correctly. Oh shit. Oh, it always does that when I need to take this here. Hold on. Well, I'm gonna, every time when I have trade on, I can't do it. Yeah, what resonates with you, and then build on the exactly. Yes, that's how you find your trading identity. You know, people can tell you anything, and they can have a bad day, and they, you know, never. Well, you can listen to someone else, but you always have to do what you. Nobody is responsible for your money but yourself. Don't let anybody, you know, tell you how to trade your money. Don't, you know. Okay, so 2R, it would be just above this little wick here. So for those who are new and want a structure, the 2R breaker retest trade is something I can highly recommend to start back testing and see how many times does it work, when does it not work. So for example, if we don't meet the 2R, so for my journaling, I notice if I don't have proper structure on the 3-minute or 5-minute, those are the times that it more probability that it doesn't work. It doesn't give you the full 2R, for example. Or you have to wait a little bit longer for it to work out. But so that's why I always look, okay, what's the 3 and the 5-minute telling me, right? So, and then you start looking, okay, when does it work? Look at the times, like what happened, what time did we make a low? Or is it going to make a new high in London before 4 o'clock? So, I guess now I don't want to be, I don't want the trade to go down all the way into the, so now I'll break it to break even, because if it comes down anyway, I don't want to be in it. So now the trade will be a no losing trade. If it comes down, I'll most likely even get out of it. If the macro starts going downwards, I will, what is your advice on beginners who blow their account? I would say first, welcome to the club. It's not only beginners. um, Let me put it that way. Manage your risk better. Yeah. Well, actually, Liquid Raid actually said something, but I just want to say the logic behind it. It is. I think it has to do with not having a proper model yet, which is based on data. Which the more mechanical you make a trade, the less emotion comes in, right? So the more mechanical it becomes, the less emotion. Because losing your account is just the fact that you are over leveraging, gambling, and actually just don't have a model. Now, also with a model, you can still have a losing trade, but you won't let it get too far because you manage your risk much better because your model is already, if you have a specific model, you already know the R to Rs from that model, what you're looking for, and you have already most of the times that's why I always say I don't feel comfortable putting more risk on than 40 points, because I know, and it doesn't matter if I calculate it back to a dollar, it always comes back to a certain amount because it's a structure that also is sort of like similar all the time that you're looking for. So you can literally also give it a certain amount. So I know it's okay if I go over 40 points of risk, I already know that maybe it's not the setup, it's not an A plus setup actually. So But you're actually already saying it. If you're a beginner and you're blowing accounts, that means actually you're not ready to trade accounts yet. You should actually go back to paper trading, find a model, back test it, and you need a model that you have tested maybe more than 100 times, and you have to have more than 60% win rate, and at least a 2R, more than two, preferably 3R trade, and then start working on accounts. Okay, again, you see what happens here, 354. Okay, people that are asking for me to, when I'm going over a trade and people are asking to go NQ, that's very rude, I think, to be honest, because you can see I'm in a trade right now, and why would I go to NQ if you see I'm in a trade, my friend? It's just for you, for your signal. Are you looking for a signal? Because you're in a trade right now on NQ. I'm in a macro, I'm in gold, so I'm not going to NQ. And I'm showcasing something to people that want to learn. Oh, Jolly, it's over, Popo. So now I lost my train of thought. MMM bullish breaker, great trade. Well, when I'm leaving it on to show if I'm going to be stopped out, that the 2R didn't work, right? I'm just leaving it on to see what happens, because we are in the macro. Hey Vincent, how are you doing? You're from sunny Cape Town. You've got a nice day as well. You've got a beautiful. We have beautiful weather here as well. Yes. Okay, so sometimes what happens is that the first part of the macro could go to the downside and the second could go up, but I could also be stopped out right now. So it always makes it almost clear to me that the low is in, right, for London. So that makes it very low probability that we're going to go higher. So in that case, what you do if you see this happen, you might want to not take the risk to stay in this trade, right? Yes, sir, trade. It's going to be a nice day. Okay, so it's 357. Tony Fibo, for me, what helped was when I start putting hard daily max stop losses. Yes, and stick to them, right? There's also a breaker. Are we retesting this breaker? Also profit targets because of consistency rules with the profits make the daily loss so that you can lose 10 days. Yes. Well done. We'll see if the breaker retest is going to work. I calculated from here, but Vincent, there is no 3 or 5 minute structure, so it's a weak. It's very weak in the sense of I think we made the low in London here, and there's no 3 and 5 minute structure. So this one could fail for the 2R part, but let's see. Hi, darling. Oh, it's so warm, my love. Is it so warm? Okay, new 4-hour candle, 1-hour candle coming in. Let's see. Manipulation move to the downside, and then we going to make a spike to the upside after 4 o'clock. Not before 4 o'clock, but now you can do it in the last 10 minutes of the macro. Hold on. Okay, technically now I can bring my stop to below this breaker, because if it goes below that breaker, it's already invalidated my trade, right? So this could be my, I think it's going to be stopped out. So point is that you want to take it, you see previous day high here. When you don't have 3 and 5 minute structure, go back test it just to make sure. It might go, but it's, I always get out a little bit earlier for some reason, but we'll see. It might still go, but I don't really like it too much. Remember also, we didn't have a breaker retest here, right? Remember that? Remember this here? Oh, we did actually here. Yes, we did. We did, but not an order block. Oh, I hate that. It's just, okay, let's put the fib on again. Vincent, the calculation from this breaker was just above the 2R would have been here, and it did not. Yeah, previously exactly. So the point is, there's no structure on the 3 minute and the 5 minute. So I would then also not take it the 2R and just take it at the previous day high, right? Yeah. So now it might just stop me out. It should run now or not. We have a few more minutes to go. But it could go into the OTE range and then make that move up at some point, right? Yeah, I should get out. But look, we're going to go into this wick. You see here, this 1 hour wick? Yeah, I'm getting out here. I don't like it at all. Yeah, it's go. It seems to be go. I don't like it at all, but I don't trust it at all. I think it's a trap. Looking at this wick here. Oh, Dolly. What time is it? Yeah, Vincent, I don't want to be in a trade for such a long time, for such a slow, it might still go, but it's just too slow, right? And it's such a little amount of points that you make, and the risk just, because we made a low here at 330, and I'm like, okay, when you make a low here, you most likely will not take out a high very shortly afterwards. It can sometimes, but most of the times it does not. So that's why I'm sort of like, if this is the low around 330, we're not going to create a high shortly after, if that makes sense. But let's see, maybe it. It's so slow. I mean, you just don't want to be in a trade like that. Okay, it's almost 9. Let's see. Where is it going to stop? Is it going to give the 2R and that means above this, or is it going to reject here in this rejection? Oh, it actually already rejected here. Let's see. Mr. Chaos Factor. Is going to look for a sell straight away. We took out these highs at 10 past, so the macro is over technically. Hey, Star Trader. Have a great day. Thank you. Are we doing it? Are we doing it? Are we doing it? 12 past. I like this wick here. I would like a pullback in this wick before maybe going up. So are we rejecting in this 1 hour wick, right? Let's see. It says 1 hour. Yes, 1 hour. Let's see if it's going to go or not. It could make another wick a little bit lower than this one, right? This is higher, this one here. Maybe we're gonna get one a little bit lower here. Let's see. Minis, but um I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Um, it says the connection is excellent, but I see it as well. That is more than usual, so I see it too. I am working with the. I contacted the internet company already, so I have no idea what's going on. But you're correct, definitely yes. Yeah. So you see what's happening? Wick, wick, wick. So now we might go into this wick here. What time is it? 2:30. What are you doing, bro? Are you just going to go up, up, up and take that high? Let's have a quick look at NQ, what NQ is doing. NQ is shit. Hi, trader at home. Welcome. Welcome to the family. No trade style. Yesterday was your baby. What was my baby? NQ. Oh, NQ was my baby. Yes, yes, yes. No, it's a love hate relationship. But sometimes you can be fed up with your baby, right? You still love it, but sometimes it's just. NQ. Yeah. I mean, we have nice news coming. I mean, it's going to be explosive. Patience is required. Yes, well said. And it's sort of a gamble now, right? I mean, if I would be in it, it would be okay. 2R would be just above the high, but on the other hand, I'm like, could we just make another wick, right, and make a lower wick and then leave that for later on to be taken out? So, like, are we going to reverse here? Um, or is it going to take out that high? I'm inclined to think, but it could just easily take out these highs here. But I would love it to see go into this wick. Let's grade this. It did not leave that wick for a reason, right? Okay, let's see. Let's see. That's a good question of trader arc. Is it okay for you to trade ahead of PPI? It depends on the setup. It depends on in London session. I would definitely trade if there's a clean setup. But when it's not clean, for example, now this for me it takes too much time. I'm not interested in it. I'm actually not interested. I'm especially not interested in NQ right now. And gold had my interest because of this structure here and the breaker retest setup. Um, so it would have made me some money if I would trade it on my eval or my account, but it didn't give me the 2R in one macro. So that already tells you a lot that price is not doing, because normally on a 1 minute structure you should get that trade within one macro normally. You don't want it to go over to when it's a higher time frame structure. Of course, it can take a little bit longer. But when this is a 1 minute structure, if it doesn't give me in one macro, I'm not interested anymore in really trading it. So I wouldn't put any right now. I wouldn't put any live trades or any evals or anything that cost me money. I would not put a trade on because of how price is looking and how it's going. I would really wait now to I would just look at levels. What are they creating? What are they taking out? Are they respecting OTE levels? What wicks are being used? So it's a good question. Yeah, I would not put. I would be very careful now because it's already telling for me that a 1 minute breaker retest structure doesn't do it in one macro. It should be done already in that one macro. What was it here? 350. Okay, this is possible, but it should have been already done in the 350 to 410 macro. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we just create wick, 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 and then we go down into this wick here. Rug bull on metals. Yeah, yeah, gold. I think that we're going to go into this wick here. Let's see. 422. What time is it? Okay, hopefully, the internet people are going to get hold of me. So if they do call, I'm going to end the stream straight away. But we arranged it in half an hour. But if they do call, I have to take the phone call because I really want to sort out the internet issues. Because I do think there is something weird going on. I think there's two or three different things going on at the same time. So that's why I'm having all these little So again, thank you guys for hanging out with me, even though there are so many issues. But I'm working on it, so bear with me. I'm trying to figure it out. So I don't want to lose you guys over this, but I understand it's very annoying when sound is not nice. Stream is delayed, but I really appreciate that you guys are still here. So oh, there we go. Hold on. Let me see if it's them. I was speaking. Hello?
Good day, ma'am. This is Carl from Box Medical.
Okay, hold on, Fox. I'm in a stream right now. Could I need to close the stream. Hold on the line, because I said if you call, I'm going to end the stream because I want to sort the internet issues. So give me a few seconds. Let me just close the stream. Okay, guys, this is the internet people calling. I'm going to end the stream because I want to sort out the issues. I'll see you back later in New York. Okay, thank you again, guys. I love you, and I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to end the stream here. It's a little bit abrupt, but it's because of the internet people. Trade carefully, guys. Don't overtrade. Bye. Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, I ended the stream.